Choices, I was 100% a recluse. I had no confidence. To go to the supermarket for a carton of milk was a major trauma for me.
I would be either just in bed or just lazing about, like watching television, and I'd be binge eating, even doing binge drinking and all like that.
You know, I did have everything and then I lost everything. And I went to the mental health clinic in Selbridge and got really loads of support from them. And they told me that I wasn't a waste of space when I thought I was a waste of space. And then they referred me to Choices.
Sometimes I just don't want to get out of the bed. I feel trapped in my own little world, in a little bubble in my head. If I could just get out of the house, get beyond the gate, things might be okay for the day.
The loneliness I experienced before I joined Choices was horrific. I was in the house all day on my own, and I hadn't the confidence to move outside it, so I just sat there, looking at the walls, not even able to read. I was so lonely.
Well, I used to sit home all day and look at the wall. That's what I did all day.
And when I joined Choices, my confidence was at an all-time low, but with the support I got here and the rapport I had, we were able to cheer one another up. We didn't have to share our own personal details, but we all knew that we were singing from the same hymn sheet. We just had different words, and the support was just incredible. Right up to this present moment, it's incredible.
Being in Choices, just kind of, you know, you don't get the chance to be overthinking. Like, you actually are able to have a nice day without actually having to worry about those horrific thoughts that can go through your head.
Creatively, the Choices scheme gives you a huge scope of drawing, painting, and that creative side feeds into your mental health as well. Instead of kind of sitting there having terrible thoughts, you have a piece of paper in your lap and you're drawing something, or very often the drawing will represent how you feel.
And now I'm doing my course and I love my course and I feel that I'm doing something now, then it's not sitting at home thinking. That's when it really gets to you. You're on your own and you're thinking.
I think probably a lot of the stigma comes from inside yourself rather than from other people. It probably does exist among other people, but you have to be aware in your own mind that you might be imposing that stigma on yourself, and that doesn't help.
And I suppose that comes from a lack of self-confidence in ourselves as well. But there is another difference. Like, if you saw your neighbour coming up the street with a bandage wrapped around their head, you'd go across straight away and sympathise and ask what happened and show your support. If you knew your neighbour was suffering from mental illness and you saw them coming up the street, you would not cross the street. That's the difference in mental and physical health. People are afraid of it. They're not educated enough in how mental health affects people. Like, in years gone by, a person suffering from mental health was regarded as a madman, mad woman. That's not completely gone, sadly. And like the majority of people suffering from mental health, they take their medication, it helps them to get back on tracks, but mental health is different to physical health in that it destroys your self-confidence. It just changes your whole personality. And it's then you need the support of your friends and your neighbours. But people don't understand it, so they're not able to, they're afraid to support you.
Do you know the way, like, I'm a homeless person? Well, I met somebody's friend, like, and because she told her I was homeless, there was a big thing about it. And I just think that's shocking, like, in this day and age, people treat you different when they don't even, they don't even know you, like. And that's like 4 times that's happened to me. And that, like, really brings you back down, you know. People that you know, like, do you know what I mean? As soon as they hear, oh, homeless, oh, she's a drug addict or she's something wrong with her, do you know what I mean? Whereas I'm not, I'm just me.
I know.
Because I think you have to live it to go through it, to understand it.
You do, and that's what makes Choices unique. Every one of us here have been through some mental trauma. That's why we're able to support one another so well.
And the landlady's eyes opened wide in delight. She said, I love whiskey and wine's on the best.
But when I joined, like, I was, like, really shy and stuff like that. And but as soon as I got to know everybody, you know, I had friends, like, where before I didn't have anybody. And you know, I'm doing my courses and there's hope for the future now for me.
Since I started here as well, I suppose, like, I'm a new person, like, I feel like I'm actually able to say no now instead of saying yes all the time.
Further education is something I wouldn't have had the confidence to go for, especially when relating to drawing or painting. And during the time I've been in Choices, I've developed that confidence that even being able to believe people when they say that they think I'm getting good at it, that's the major step forward, and it makes it possible for me to go and do basically an art course which would develop the skills I've discovered here, and turn me into, my ambition is to be like a real artist. I actually think that's achievable now, and a lot of that has to do with being here in Choices.
When we do the programme, we come up with different ideas, give it a try, and if everybody remains interested, we continue on with it. And if everybody isn't interested, if the numbers drop off, well then we come up with something different. So that's great, because everybody has a choice then. But equally, if one person, say there's one person only interested in art, that person is accommodated. So there's something for everybody here on this programme. That's the lovely thing about it.
It's a win-win situation. IAPs, the individual action plans, I find that very helpful for me, like, to keep on track of things, you know, that way, and keep me on the right road, I suppose. I know these goals that I'm putting forward for myself are doing me the power of good.
Yeah, we all have different individual timetables, because some of us may be in the centre on a Monday, but we could be out in the community on Tuesday. We might have art on Wednesday, and in between the times we have our singing, which I think we all look forward to. And we help to set up our timetables with our IAPs working with our key worker in the centre, and it keeps us moving along so that we don't become totally reliant on the centre, but it helps us to put some sort of structure on our lives, so that in time to come then we'll be able to become independent again.
Tell me now when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. They won't my hair, they sew my clothes, but that's alright till I go home. She is handsome,
And when I joined Choices, that cloud gradually lifted, and I had something to get out of the bed for each morning, some place to go, people that understood me. And little by little I started to move out again.
Well, I do knitting on a Wednesday now. It doesn't happen in the centre, but as I said, it's community that I do part of in my individual weekly plan, and I must say it feels great to have more friends as well then, that way that I'm interacting with more people, and that even though I absolutely love coming into the centre and all, it's not all based around the centre either, that in time to come I will be finishing up and stuff, so I need to make sure that I have things that I like doing when I finish up.
And I'd also recommend community work to anybody, because I do isolate myself a lot still, but I look forward to my Tuesday mornings when I volunteer in citizens information, and I've made new friends there. I am learning a lot of stuff about the community and about different programs, etc., that are available for all and sundry actually. And then on Tuesday afternoon I volunteer in St. Vincent de Paul, and that is my way of giving back something to the community, because I have found over the years that being involved in your community is a huge step towards keeping yourself well. You feel there's a sense of a good feeling in being able to help others. So I'm helping myself by helping others.
I love performing in nursing homes with the music and stuff. I just find it brings something out in me. I just think it's great for the people in the nursing homes and stuff.
Yeah, it's really good. I never did anything like that, like music, singing around. I was just always, hanging around the background. I think it's very good. And you can see it in their faces, the people in the nursing homes, they're delighted, something happening today,
And a lot of them sing along with us when we're singing as well.
Yeah, some of them do their dancing.
Yeah. But they're not the only ones that get an enjoyment out of it. We are too.
Yeah.
Because again, we're giving back. We're made feel very welcome actually in the nursing homes.
Yeah.
But even, a few weeks would go by and we wouldn't be going to a nursing home. We'd have our own singing session here in the centre. I love that. It's great rapport between us when we're all singing together.
I think mindfulness, as I've been learning it in Choices, as opposed to mindfulness classes I went to before, were probably the basis of getting my thinking away from negativeness and lack of confidence and lack of self-belief in my own abilities. Mindfulness has given me a more secure base, and practicing it regularly, whether in here in Choices or at home on my own. It just, over time, it just changes your whole self-image, and it makes you feel like you can go forward and achieve things.
I I never, at first when I came to Choices and when we started Mindfulness, never thought it would work. I was totally going, yeah, whatever, like. But I surprised myself, and I think, like, at the end of the day, you really do have to keep at it though. Like, don't do it on days that you just feel happy. You have to do it on days that you're not feeling happy or won't, work like as such. But I just find it amazing, I must say. I think it's has done me the power of good. In Choices, we did a rap course, and I must say I found that extremely helpful. Now, it was tough, but from my own experience it was very tough. But I just thought it did me the power of good, and it made me realise, like, I'm not the only one that has, the problems that I'm suffering from or whatever. Yeah.
I did the rap course as well, and yes, I have to say it was really empowering. Very emotional at times because you're talking about your own personal problems. I think there were about 20 of us on the course, but we all felt safe sharing our problems, and it certainly helped me to come to terms with quite a few crosses, we'll call them, that I had in my life. I'd recommend the rap course to anybody.
Yeah, and things that would keep me well is coming here the Monday to Friday, doing the bits that I like doing, in the sense of doing the singing, doing the walking. And in Choices we have 2 days that we do walking at the moment, and it's just, it clears my mind totally. And I mightn't feel up to doing it, but I just have to get myself into doing it, and I feel great after it then.
We're kind of all friends now, aren't we? I think we're friends. Like, I didn't have any friends until I came here. Like, it's just being with people that know. Well, maybe people. We're all in the same boat. Like, we're all went through all the horrible, horrific stuff in our lives, and you come to Choices trying to move forward. Like,
if I do feel like I'm going to have a bad day, to keep doing the things that work for me, like the mindfulness, the exercise, just talking to people, that just to get it out there, to let them know that I'm not in a great place.
I just want to feel empowered from within, just to breathe properly, and just to be among people, to feel that it's going to be okay.
And we learn from one another as well, because we all join at different times. So when I joined here, maybe half the group were 6 months ahead of me, and some of them had joined different courses, or may have been in horticulture, or may have been doing pottery, and I took note of that, and in due time I moved on and I did something as well. So when you see your comrades moving forward, it helps you, and it gives you the impetus and the confidence to take up and do something as well, and help yourself.
My first dream of the hopes for the future would be to be working in a nursing home, because I just think it's what I wanted to do for ages. So I just think I'm ready to get on with that now, that way.
For me, Choices is about the support of the other people in Choices and the creative outlet that Choices gives me to enable me to move forward.
When people are listening to this, that don't be afraid to find out more about Choices and stuff, that it is a great course and definitely has done me great wonders. So